tables, we'll be having two different tables. One is managed table, and another one will be external table. Okay, so the difference between them is it's very simple, guys. If you're trying to drop the tables, means if you're trying to delete the table, an external table, your data will be available. Okay, but not the database. Okay, but in managed table, entire data and metadata and the table itself, it will be flushed away. You cannot retrieve it back. Okay, so keep in mind whenever you're working, you're trying to create tables. Make sure that you create the appropriate one. So that I mean, like it might useful in the in another scenarios. So in production, most of us will be working with the external table because data is important. So it's okay if you are deleting your tables. That's okay, but but the data are important, right? So there should not be any data loss. Okay, so that was an introspective question, like how many tables or what are the types of tables in Hive. Okay, so you can answer them like two. There are two different tables. One is external table, and another one would be managed table. So managed table is something that manages the entire table metadata and data. And once you drop or delete the data, the entire data and tables, everything will be flushed away. It will be deleted. Okay. In external table, only the table name will be deleted, but the data will be available. Okay. All right. So let's since we are I mean, like we postponed the classes today, so we have very less participants. So let's move on to practicals. Uh, all right, so I think this should be visible, right? So what I do, just try to get into my VM. I have set of data. What I do, I just copy that. Uh, okay. Oh, I didn't switch on the VM. So in today's session, like we'll be begin with looking into the other databases like which is available. Then we will create a database. In previous session, we have already created a database called hospital. Like I said, like your project manager or your BA, he comes to you and he's requesting you to create a database, and your client is a big chain of hospitals, and he's having a lot of data. and basically they are trying to process data, and they need a quick solution. So they opted for big data. So now you are managing that that data. So what you need to do, I'll go with that step by step. So first we will be creating a database. For that, let me know my IP address. Yeah. Right. So now it should be able to get in. The username and password will be Cloudera. All right. Right. So let me give you another point of interview questions. Like in Hive, you must know the destination where it is saving, right? I mean, like all the databases. So all the databases will be in user Hive, and it maintains a warehouse. Inside warehouse, you will be listing all the database. Okay. So you can find that inside this. So let's see whether we are able to see that. Loop fs -ls. So this is the destination where you can find all your databases stored here. Okay. So I'm just highlighting so that you guys can remember. User Hive warehouse. Okay. It's taking time. Okay. So you can see it listed. What I did is I just wanted to list the databases inside the Hive's warehouse. So I have nearly 9 databases. So you guys should be remembering that I created this db.1, I created this db.2, db.3, and I have the created date and the time. So I created the db6 as well. And this was created by itself because we were trying to process Twitter data. So your database has been like it created by itself. So ignore that. And this was the thing that we have to work today. Okay. So there is a database basically called as hospital. So we will be working with hospital. Okay. So that .db is the dot notation, and db is the extension of your database. That is the format. So when you find the files with .db, so understand that this is a database. Okay. And below that, I have all the user rights, basically read, write, other things. So Cloudera is your username, and it's your super group. I mean, like the group profile. Okay, and we also have some tweets Twitter's data. All right, so
sorry to interrupt. Like how to create this database, those things are in previous video.
Your question is like, do we have any videos that how we are going to create the database?
Yeah, because I skipped the last session, so I don't know how to create this database.
Yes, we have. Anyway, I'll show you how to create one.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so we have created DB6. So now we will create a DB7 for Vignesh today. So in order to get into Hive, I need to type simple thing Hive. Okay. All right, so just keep in mind this will be your warehouse of your Hive server. All the database will be stored here. Uh, so let me. So what I'm trying to do is, after entering the hospital thing, so it will list the tables. Okay, it will list the tables which is available. Okay, so inside hospital DB, I have a table called patient. Okay, that means in Excel, in Excel point of view, we have an Excel sheet called hospital. Okay, and we have a page or we have a tab called patient. Okay, this is what we did now. Okay, now in order to let me open a new window. I don't like the color. Okay, English. Uh, I just try to open two different terminals because one I'll be working with Hive and another one I'll be working with your Hadoop. Okay, I mean like HDFS. So I hope it should be visible. Are visible guys or still dull? Let me change the view. Maybe um, Ocean. Okay, let's try with Ocean. It should be visible for you guys. So these are some practical difficulties. Just ignore. This is visible, right? I mean like both the screens. Right, so let me get into my SSH. Right, so I'm trying to get into Hive basically. So see, this is your simple. Now I'm in simple HDFS thing. So what I do, I just simply type Hive to get into Hive basically. So this will start the Hive server and Hive server 2 as well, because in Hive we have two versions of Hive, right? So I hope you guys remember from the previous sessions. So it will start its Hive server 2 and Hive server 1 and other services. and your it will look into your configuration file for libraries and other jars, and then it will start automatically. Okay. All right, it says yes, it's logging initialized and configuration using configuration, and this will be a jar file path basically, and all the properties were good, and it has maintained a temporary folder basically for all your histories. So basically, if I use my up and down arrow keys, I can navigate through my previous commands, sorry, queries. Right, so let's see, like since since we have a new member, so we will try to create a new database. Right, we'll see how many database we have. We are listing show database. All right, so what I'm requesting Hive here, please show me the list of databases. Okay. Very nice. This is very simple. If you are familiar with any querying language like SQL or MySQL, Cassandra, or let's say Postgre, this is almost like you'll be using all most of the querying language, because Hive is kind of it's built based on the querying language. Okay.
Okay, Karthik, one more question. See, above screen which are working is in some HDFS, right? What is the below one? What is that one?
Right. So here the blue screen is basically your Hive screen. The green screen is
Okay.
your HDFS. Okay.
Okay, so okay, from the HDFS we are connecting to Hive and going right.
Now I'm just trying to do some operations, and then I would like to validate. Okay. For that, I have two different screens.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Just give me a moment, guys. Hello, Mani. Hello. Yeah. Hi. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Actually, 5 unit B negative. ஓகேவா, உங்க ஊருக்காரங்க தான் சிவங்கை இடைக்காட்டு, உங்க ஊருக்காரங்க தான் இடைக்காட்டு சிவங்கை பக்கத்துல. ஓகேவா, 5 units of B negative. ஆமா, கார்டியோ. சரி, ஓகே. நீ டேட் பார்த்துக்கோ, பட் இமீடியட்டாக கொஞ்சம் அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணிடு. அதில் இல்லை, அவங்க பிளட் பேங்க்லேருந்து ரிக்வஸ்ட் எடுத்துக்க மாட்டேங்கிட்டாங்க. ஓகேவா, ஸோ அதனால இல்லை, யாராவது டோனர்ஸ் தான் வேணும் அப்படின்றாங்க, பிளட் பேங்க் ரிக்வஸ்ட் எடுத்துக்கல. ஸோ அதனால தான் சரி, ஓகே, நம்ம சிஆர்டி பண்ணிடுவோம் அப்படின்னு. ஓகே, ஆல்ரைட். ஓகே, ஓகே மணி. நான் கால் பண்ணுறேன், திருப்பி டீட்டெயிலில் பேசுவேன். ஓகே, யா, தேங்க்யூ. Right, so so basically, like you can look the databases from your Hive. Okay, the list of databases. Also, you can do that from your other terminal with your Hadoop command as well. For that, we do is like database is maintaining all its databases inside the warehouse of Hive. Okay, so what I did here is I'm commanding Hadoop, please get into Hadoop file system, and please list me all the available files inside this path, inside the warehouse. Okay, so the user will be Hive. Okay, not Cloudera, because it's we are basically we are triggering the data, everything from Hive server. So like Hadoop is having a distributed server. We are having multiple nodes inside the clusters. So one of the node will be like it's a Hive server. So inside the so it will be like the user will be Hive, and inside that we have a warehouse basically. So where your all your databases will be available. Okay. So when I type this in command prompt, in Hadoop's command prompt, so it's listing all my databases available. Okay. So it's saying that DB1, DB2, DB3, right? So at the same time, in the blue screen, inside the Hive server, in the Hive command line, we try to show, describe, we try to list all the databases available. So I have told show databases. Okay. So the command, you can understand the difference between the commands, right? So this one is querying language. Okay. Whatever comes with the semicolon is its query language. Okay. So we have DB1, DB2, DB3, DB4, DB5, DB6, and a default one which is created by Hive itself. Okay. If you don't have any database inside the Hive warehouse, it will create a default database and it will start using default only until unless you create a one and use that. Okay. So we created a hospital here, a database.
It's 1 o'clock.
You can see that from Hive. Also, you can look into the Hadoop command line as well. You can see that we have created a hospital database basically, and you have this rights and who created that? It's created by the Cloudera with the group name called Hives. Okay, and basically this is your time, date and time, and the path of destination. I mean, like the destination of the warehouse. Okay, so now hope that makes sense to you, Vignesh. So now let's try to create a database, a new database, since you requested, Vignesh. So I'm create database called DB7. Okay, I'm creating a database called DB7, a new database. Okay, so in order to create a new database, you need to type create database. Okay, create database called DB7. Okay, and I enter the semicolon here because it's a querying language. So I'm hitting enter and it will start creating it. Okay. Okay, it took just five seconds to create a database and it says okay. Okay. So now let's see that in command Hadoop command, we'll list all the okay. All right, so you can see that basically we created now, right? So we have created just now, and it's been appended. I mean, like it's created inside the Hive warehouse. So that makes sense, right, Vignesh? So let's move on. So I'm trying to list all the databases again for you guys, and it's created. So out of this, so many databases are there. So we will work with hospital database. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm instructing Hive to use hospital. Okay, hospital database. Okay, and it says yes. Okay, you can use it now. So let's see what's inside the hospital. Okay, I mean, like we have a table, right? I mean, like the command prompt. What I did, I just entered the database name here, so that it can jump into the database and find out the tables basically. So I have a table called patient. Okay. Okay, we have.
Karthik, sorry to interrupt. To create a table patient just as normal SQL, like create table, table name, and those things.
Yes, exactly. That's it. Yeah, you need to. You'll see that now. We will try to create another one. Right. So let's drop. Uh, right. So what I did here is I just try to delete the table. Okay. So we will create a fresh a new table called patient now. Now let's see this command because it's deleted now. Okay. So nothing to show here, right? So earlier it was showing that inside the hospital DB, inside the hospital DB, there was a table called patient. Now we have deleted that, so there is nothing to show now, right? So we will create a fresh one, a new one, okay? To create, so basically we will start with managed tables. So we will create a table. You can type in caps as well or small letter. That doesn't matter, okay? So I'm just creating a table called patient, and okay, let's understand the table first. So what I did is I just copied this data sets. So inside this we have different text files. Basically, these are the text file that you got from your client. Okay, your client is like a giant hospital. Let's say like Apollo. Okay, so they are having a network of hospitals. So you are getting some data like this in text format. So let's see what is inside this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so 7 files, and out of this are 6 are text files, and rest of one is JSON file. Okay, so inside dataset Hive text, you need to understand what is inside the datasets. Okay, so we have numbers. Listing says like it's patient ID. Okay, then the patient name, and the drug name, basically the medicine name, and the gender, and here comes the total amount in dollars. It says $12. Okay, it's not mentioned the dollars here, but just assume that it's in dollars. Okay, let's enter a few more. Let's see. uh, uh, okay. uh, Okay, so I'm just nothing. I just try to create some data here for you guys to understand. So this is how, like, you have a patient name and patient ID, your patient name, and the product that they purchased, like the medicine, and the gender, and the price of it. Okay, so it doesn't matter, like, this is just for practical. So just assume that you're buying something from the shops, so not only medicines, you can buy something else as well. So you can assume, like, if you want to buy some grocery from the shops, like, more, you can buy some rice, you can buy some vegetables, you can buy some cosmetic items. So you can enter like this, right? Let's assume that basically this is a store data, right? The data set you have is something related to store. But what store? It's a it's a medical store, right? So you the first thing that you need to do, you need to understand the degrees. Basically, how many degrees you have. One integer here, you have another string, another string, another string, and again it comes your integer. Okay, so now let's get back to your terminal. So we were about to create a, a table, basically a managed table. So what I do is I create a patient ID, the first thing, which is an int, that is an integer. Then I create a p name, basically, which is a string, right? Then again I create a drug, which is also a string. And then what else I have? Patient ID, name, drug, okay, gender, and amount. Okay. After drug, we have gender, string, and then we have total amount, right? Yeah, total underscore amount, which is also a integer. Okay. So we have, make sure that you enter in the right format. Okay, because you are trying to create a table and you are trying to enter this text file inside the database. Okay, you are basically loading your data inside the database. If you put, instead of patient ID here, like say, like, for example, you do a mistake, instead of patient ID, you are entering patient name. Your patient name, you are typing here patient name by mistake instead of patient ID. Your patient name would be like 010203. Okay, so make sure you try to understand the data sets first. You understand the degrees inside it. For that, you need to ask your BA or your project manager or the client. Okay. All right. So we are good so far. So let's move on to the next one. So we are creating a row format. Okay. And we are limiting the delimited fields by uh, by comma separated values. Okay. Okay. So I enter. So what is trying to do? Space is okay. See, guys, this is an error. So make sure that your whatever you're typing is it's full with full. Do it with a little cautious. Okay. So the error says, like, there is a typo issues. So semantic exception, unrecognized file format in stored as clause, and it also gives me tips. Says text files. Okay. There is nothing called a format called text files. There is a format called text file. Okay. So what I do, I just correct it here, and I deleted that yes. Now it should work. Okay, great. So it took just 3 seconds. So let's see. Now we see the table. Okay, great. So it says like it has a table called patient, right?
Karthik, one more question. Like how to know this is a external table or managed table?
See, we started with managed table. Okay, we have not started with external table. I'll tell you when I'm starting with external table. What we do is it's simple. Here we will mention as ext or extended one as an identification. Okay, we'll do that. It's the process is almost same for creating any table, right? So you'll see like so what I said, Hive, can you please describe me the patient? Okay, so I just wanted to see everything is right or not, whether I did the right thing or wrong. Okay, so I created first PID, that is your patient ID, then comes your patient name, then comes your drug, then comes your gender, and then comes your total amount. So look at the degrees of the database, the text file. First one is your patient ID, right? Okay, the next one is patient name. Yes, it's right. The next one is drug. Yes. The paracetamol Avil. Yes. The fourth one is gender and fifth one is total amount. Yes, that's right. So everything we did is right now so far. All right. So we can also ask little bit in detail, basically in Hive. So what I do, instead of giving me some simple description, I want some more detail on the patient table. So what I do here, uh, so I'm asking it to describe all the formatted what is formatted of patient. Okay, so show me the formatted of patient here. So it popped up. Let me show that in full screen. Okay, so I entered here. Please show me the formats of patient ID. So it has these are the formats. The column names basically PID, P name, drug, gender, amount, right? So that makes sense, right? This column name. All right, and then comes your data types. Basically, the patient ID is integer. Your total number is integer. Okay, basically you are working with numbers. So make sure that that's inside the integer data type. Okay, there are other data types, you can look into it. So next one comes your table information, like it is inside the hospital database. Okay, so in a day you will be working with hundreds of database. So make sure you get this format correctly, and this is also a interview point of question, like how will you find the database, I mean like in which database you are working. So you can look into the, if you enter this describe formatted patient, in one way you can find this database. Okay, you are working with hospital database and the owner is Cloudera. Here your name should be coming. Okay, if you are working with, if you created a database, then your name will be coming, or otherwise the user's name and the date of creation. Okay, and the last access time is unknown. That's okay, ignore it. So once you work and exit from this screen, your time will be appended. Okay, it will be updated. So it is not in a secured mode. That's okay. But I mean, like your admins will be working with that, and also it has location here. So as I told you, like the location for maintaining the databases, Hive will maintain in its warehouse. So you can see the path. Basically, it's user Hive warehouse. Inside the hospital, there is a patient, right? Inside the hospital, there is a patient table, right? So you can find the location this way as well. So you asked me one good question, like whether it's managed table or extended table. So here it says the table type is managed table. So Vignesh, for your question, you can look at like this. That was a good question, Vignesh. So you can see that
Yeah.
it's a managed table, and this is your date. It's a timestamp basically. Just ignore. And it also have Saturday library. Basically, we are into Hadoop, so Hadoop Apache always recommends to work with Saturday library. And these are the library names. Okay, and it is a input library, and it's output one, and it is not compressed, and we have only one bucket. So most of the thing is not updated yet. But yes, we'll see that in today's session or more level of detail, or you can understand that by looking it into it. Okay, right. So let's move on to the next concept. So we created a data. Like we created a table with the right column. Okay, everything is right now. But when I uh, try to show the table, when I try to show patients, you can enter describe patient or just type BSc patient. Okay, both are same only. Okay, instead of typing the big whole word describe, you can just type DSC. Okay, so it will list all the columns and the data types. And for more level of detail, you need to type describe formatted, because you need to, if you insert this formatted thing, you'll be having entire list here. Like all the more level of details will be displayed in this about that particular table. Okay, right. So let's try. So nothing is inside the table. Now what we do, we will try to load the. What we do here is we will load this data. Okay. For that, make sure you have you know the data. Data set name. It says datasets underscore hive, right? And when you keep your cursor there, you can find the location of it. It says it's under the desktop datasets and datasets hive. Okay. Anyway, so what I do, I want to find its. I'm trying to find its destination. It's very simple. Just look into its properties. You can find here. You can find the location of the file. It's under home. It's in under Cloudera. It's desktop slash datasets. So slash home slash Cloudera slash desktop slash datasets. Inside that, I have this file name. Okay, and it's in text format. So what I do, I just upload this data inside my table. Okay. To do that, I need to type load data.
Karthik, you're not saved the text value like the data set.
That's okay. Is it? It's saved. All right. So I used my command, I mean like my keyboards. Let me save that for you guys. So what I do, I click on save and it's saved. Yes, you are right, Vignesh, it was not saved. Right, so I did save that. So now I'm trying to load that in path. And basically I said you can load it from the server as well. And also you can load it from your local HDFS as well. So what we do here, we are trying to load it from your local. Right. So here I need to mention the destination. What I do, I just copy the destination. I'm very lazy to type that. So under data sets, I have data sets underscore hive. Okay. And please mention the format as well. That's important. Okay. And close it. Here I did a mistake purposely to show you something. But we'll complete this query sentence here, statement here. All right, so this is the query line for loading the data into the database, into the patient table. It says parse exception line 117, and your input local expecting string near EO4. Okay, all right. So it says like it's what you need to do. You need to type data local in path. Okay, local in path. Now also it will not work because there is another mistake, and it says invalid path and here and says no files matching this path. Okay, so look into the path. I did this purposely because to produce some errors. So this is how you need to go with your errors and identify things. Okay, so what I do, I just added one extra slash. Okay, so that's the wrong thing here. You can see here I'm highlighting here. In this line, I have added one extra slash. So what I do, I'm just hitting my up arrow key. I'm bringing my previous query and just deleting it. All right. So I carefully look into the query statement if everything is right. Yes, load data locally in path is it's in the right format. Then your destination is, I mean, like, I'm sorry, it's your path. So the path is right. Then I'm telling you, please update this. I mean, like, put this data into the table called patient name. Okay. So here is your table name, and I just enter. Now it should work. Okay, it says more files. Okay.
I guess data set underscore IO, not data sets. The text name, file name is data set underscore.
Okay. Is it? All right. Okay, great. So thank you, Vignesh. So I'm just trying to reproduce the errors so that we can learn from it. So here, when you are choosing the file name, also make sure that all the contents are, I mean, like, it should be clear. So I just delete this yes here. Okay. Now it should work. right? So it's taking time. That means like it's trying to update it. It's copying data from this path, and it's loading the data into the table. All right, it says done. You can see it's all, I mean, like it's completed, and it took almost 21 seconds. So initially, like it will be slow, but once you start working with that, it will be uh, much faster than a bullet train. So I don't know. I don't understand the myth why. All right. So let's see whether the data has been updated or not inside this inside the patient table. Uh, so for that, what I do is I select all from the table name called patient, right? When I hit that, it says okay, and it's listing all the data which was there in your text file. It's updated inside, right? So it's producing some null values because I missed to enter the amount name. I mean, like total amount. That's okay. It comes as free. All right. So this is how you load the table inside the. I mean, load the data inside the tables, whether it's managed table or whether it's extended table. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay. Now let's what we do. Uh, okay, let's try one more data. Okay, we have another file called patients.txt. We have some patient here. Okay, we will try to upload this data. Let's understand what are the things inside. So inside drugs, we have only drugs. We also add dairy milk, then soap. Right. So let's look into the patient one text. So inside that there are some new patients. Okay, what I do, I just add a new one called for comma and we put him like some, I don't know the spelling, so I simply add coursing. Let's say all right. I don't okay. Just for your reference, I closed one. So this is inside the patient one. Now let's look into the patient two. So inside the patient two, we have these are the patients. We also add some more. We also have what we add. We'll add Isha. We add Avil, which is female, and let's put $20. All right, so I'm saving that. Okay. We also have a patient three. All right, save it. And this is your JSON folder. I mean JSON file. That's basically a. So this is how your unstructured data will be looking like. You cannot understand what it is. You cannot filter. I mean, like you need to filter it. It's a different process. So by looking into it, you cannot understand what it is, right? All right, so now what we do, we will add this patients table into the database, into the table patient. Okay. So far, this is clear, right? I mean, like we simply updated the existing file. Now let's add some more data into the table patient. For that, what we need to do is load data local in path home slash cloudera slash desktop desktop slash data sets slash which file I want to add patient one. So I make sure the spelling is right. Patients one. Okay. Patients one. Okay. Not the patient. I'm trying to add the patients one. Or let's say let's add this patients first. Okay. Patient patients. It's been plural text. And where I'm adding it, I'm adding I'm adding into the table all patient. Right. So far we have only one table. So we are adding it to it. We are adding few more things inside it. So let's see, like inside the patients, we have added Sandhya and Ram Kumar and Saravanan. Basically, they are new patients. Okay, and it says okay, it has two files. Yes, inside the patient, it has two files, and it's the total size 932 kilobytes. Sorry, bytes. So now let's see. Let's run once again all the data from patient table, whether it's appended or not. Let's see. All right. So the new patients have been updated, right? You can see that Sandhya is updated, Ramkumar updated, Saravanan updated after the Karthikeyan, right? So new customers have been updated inside this because we got a new data from your client saying that this is another new list of customers or patient who came to my store and bought this. Okay, so this file you got it today. Okay, so we appended that successfully here. You can see that after Karthikeyan we have updated it. Okay, so you can find understand the difference, right? So now let's describe patient, right? So you can understand the degrees, the column names basically. And we are trying to look into a formatted detail level. So this is how you need to do that. All right. So far good, right? Now let's do some analyzing. What we do, we'll count the patient, okay? Because we have so many patients. I mean, like we have only few number of patients, okay? Now assume that the data you have inside these data, I mean, like inside the files, you have nearly 20 billion records. Okay, you have nearly 20 billion records like this. Okay, okay. So it's hard for you to count one by one, right? And obviously you won't count it by like this 1, 2, 3, because there is an easy way to count that. Okay. Easy way to count that. So what we do, we look into some functions first. So I am requesting Hive. Hive, please show me the functions you have, because I'm new to this. I want to understand what are the functions you have. Okay, so it's listing with its list of functions. So these all are functions. Okay, hash is one function. Get JSON object is one function. We have date difference, wait, date diff. Then count is one function. We'll work with count now. Okay, I'll show you. So count is one function. Concat is one function. So average is one function. Now your manager is asking you to give me the average sales had in 2017. Then you need to do with average function, right? So these are the list of function, and here comes the operators: equal or not equal, percentage, multiply. You can add, you can subtract, you can divide, you can do all the operators like greater than or not equal to. So just go over this one as well, because you will see only one or two functions as if now, but you can try yourself as well. Okay, so what we do, okay, so let's start with count function. Okay, we'll do some simple basic function for your understanding, and it's very important that you always work with count. So let's say, like, out of that tables data, we will work like this: select count star. Star means all. Okay, instead of all, you can, instead of typing all, you can simply do this by typing star. Okay, there is no function. I mean, like, you cannot do this because it's instead of that only they developed a tool like this. Star. Star means all. Okay, from where? From the table called patient, right? It will not work because I gave the patient also in the capital. Okay, so this is the error that you'll get. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm like, it started working. It doesn't matter in SQL thing, because you can always mention in caps or small letter. As I told you before, I just confused you guys. I'm sorry. So what happens here after entering the statement? After entering the statement, it started its map reduce job. Okay, and it's launching its count. Guys, I think it will not work because the patient table should be in small letter, right? Because we created in a small letter. So it will not work, but it will start all the things because we have mentioned something. It will start doing it, but I'm not sure whether it work or not. You can find that in this path. What I do, I just copy this here. Okay. So you can see through your GUI as well. This is the function we gave. So it's staging. It says successful. I'm refreshing it. It's still running. It's still running. It's created map process and still running. And reduce is still pending. After creating map, it will create indexing and then goes to the reducer phase. So it will start working. So when I click on the running thing, there is nothing to see. After completing only I can see the things. So mapper is done. Mapper is completed. Let's look into the command prompt. So it is always a good practice, as a best practice, always go with the smaller, I mean, like as in the mentioned in the file name. So I did this purposely because I'm just wanted to stress you guys, whether you can use caps or small. Here it doesn't matter, but anyways, it's always a good practice to type like this. Okay, so it's okay, like you can type caps in the Hadoop's own query statement, but the patient is, it's in small letter. We have mentioned in small letter. Let's go with that. So it will run anyways. It's a best practice. Okay. So it completed the map job. The number of maps is 1. The reducer job is 1. So let's start from the beginning. See, after I say, like, please count me all from the patient table. Okay, I need a count of all from the patient table. It started ready. Its map reduce jobs, and it launched 1 job out of 1 because we are having only 1 job. So why it's starting map reduce jobs? Because instead of typing Java codes, a list of bunch of codes, you need to type nearly like 40 to 50. For, I mean, like, for this one you'd be typing almost like 40 to 50 lines of codes in Java to get this result. Okay, but here we just typed just one line, guys. Okay, so we typed just one line to get the result in Hive. That makes sense, right? So if you are not familiar with Java, just forget. That's okay, but good to have. For the moment, just go with this Hive because it's also running the same function. So it will trigger the map reduce with Hive query statement. So it triggered it. So we have 1 job. So it started. It's firing. So it started compiling time. It's 1. We have not set the map reduce number of map reducer. You can do that if you want in command prompt. And then it started. And this is starting job as, this will be the job file name. Okay, and this will be your tracking URL. Basically, you can track through the GUI mode as well, or else you can go with the HiveQL Hive command line as well also. So this is your job details. So this job file and this one is same, right? You can see. So you can track this inside in the Hue. Basically, if you are using different distributions like Hortonworks, you can look it through Ambari, get into Ambari and just enter the 50030. Okay, that will be your job tracker. Okay, so understand this port 50030 is your port for tracking your jobs. So that could be an interview perspective question. And so yeah, right. So we are basically trying to file this file. It created in XML format. So I have covered this in your previous session. So just in a high level understanding, I'm just refreshing it because it's showing it's pending. Okay, so the map is completed 100%. Reducer also completed 100%. It says complete is 1. Complete is 1, right? Okay, so what I do, if I want more level of detail, I can get into this. Here the completed task is there. So the task name is here. It's that XML. See, inside the text, like inside the patient table, we have appended something. I'm like we are running, and we have nearly 23 counters. So here are the counter details here. Okay. Which is successful. All right. So let's go back to our command prompt. So it killed the command. It killed the after processing. It killed it, and all the things will be in the mappers. Mappers take after creating the file name. It killed it, and it split it into different stages in map. Okay. So it started mappers and reducers inside that, and it started processing in this file name. Okay. So MapReduce took care of that, and this is it processed in 8 seconds and 20 milliseconds, and ended it. The file has been ended, and everything is done. And we have some information about the HDFS read time and write. So we have nearly 33. Okay. So what we did basically is select in the bottom of the screen. You can see that I started to say, Hive, please give me the count of the patient table. Give me the list. Give me all the count of the patient, right? So for that, it counted by row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. So the total count is 33. Okay. So the total count is 33. If you want, you can count it manually also. So if you ask me what is 33, this is the count of the data. I mean, count of your rows in your patient. Let me do that as well manually. We have up to 10 here. Then 20. Then 24, 25, 26, 27. Right? 27, 28. 28 is Sedu. 29 is Brinda. Karthikeyan is 30. Saravanan is 31. Ramkumar is 32. And Sandhya is 33. Right? So the total count is 33. And we instead of going and counting manually, we cannot do that manually for millions of billions records, right? And this data you are working with is hardly some 10-15 bytes, and in real time in production you will be working with terabytes of data. So think like think of the data that you're going to count. You cannot count by like this, like 1, 2, 3, 4 manually, like how I did now, right? So for that I just mentioned, please, there is a simple function called count here. I just mentioned here, count star from, count all from patients. Okay, it's a very simple one line statement, only few words in Hive, but in if you go for MapReduce, you need to type at least after 40, I'm like 40 to 55 lines for this, okay, to count that. This makes your life a bit easy. So we completed it. We can try once again. We can write once again. We can request MapReduce, please give me the result once again. So it will regenerate. It will rewrite and create a new one. And this time there is a different file. And this time this different file. I'll show you that. So far we started running 2 MapReduce jobs. Brinda, this Neha, this is one method of running the MapReduce jobs. Okay, so we'll be looking into MapReduce jobs running from different tools. And finally, like on your first request, like you wanted me to run MapReduce jobs in the MapReduce session. Unfortunately, I didn't do that. We will cover up later after all the syllabuses finishes, because I just wanted to show you guys in an easy method and simplified way so that you can understand how it works. Okay. Right, so it's completed. So this time it created. I ran the same MapReduce job in twice. So this time it created a new file name. This is the file name. You can see it's 002. Okay, all right. So what I do is I go to this one. So guys, the first one that we created, right? It completed the MapReduce program was run. It's completed. It completed it successfully. So this time, now we try to count once again with the same function, with the same Hive query. It created a second file with this name. You can see the difference, right? Here, I'm highlighting it. So the first file created by the MapReduce Java. So it's called not1, and then the last one is this is our second query, same query. So this is how MapReduce creates its job ID, and you can always track the job ID by clicking inside that. You can look into more level of detail. Okay. It looks easy, right? Yes, guys, it's really easy actually. All right, so moving on. I wanted to show you one more example of another function. So we are basically analyzing. Okay. So what shall we do? We can. Okay, we will run a query with some function. Okay. All right. So the sum function we have integer called. Okay. See, tot underscore amount is your total amount, and it is a integer data type, right? Guys, it is important for you guys to understand what are the data types available in Hive. So please go over the tutorials. I'll show you. I'll share you anyhow. I'm like, you can go into the Hive official one so that you can pull out all the data types. In interview, you can expect such questions. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play with the amount. Okay. So we will select a sum function. Okay, so here is a scenario. Okay, you wanted to see the sum of the total amount. You wanted to calculate. You wanted to know. Wanted to know the total sale of the drugstore. So what I do, I just simply say select Sum of what? Sum of amount, right? So sum of amount means total underscore amount. Okay, and from the table called patient.
It's 2 o'clock.
Okay. So what it does is it will start running the map ready jobs, and it's easy. I just started running this query by typing just only one line, just few modification here. And if you try to do this in Java, obviously you'll be running 50 to 60 lines. So it's very easy, guys. Now your manager wants to know the total amount that's been sold out in the store, drugstore. So this is the step that you need to do. So this time it creates a new ID, right? It's the new the job name is something with 0003. Okay. What I do? We have totally 3 submissions, and the third one is here, and it's completed. Okay, great. Okay. Right. So what I did is what I did here is I had a scenario. Right. So I had a scenario here. I come up to you guys, okay, and I ask you guys, please tell me the total sale of this store, okay? The total sale of the total sale had been made for this store, okay? So for that, I just simply ran one line by summing up a new function, okay? I'm typing sum and give me this, okay? So the total after running the query, the total sale made was 5,229 dollars. Okay, it's the total sale value. Okay, so this is the total amount. Instead of putting this, the first thing is you cannot put this into Excel. It's very hard for you guys, right? Because it's comma separated. You can't copy and paste. It will take time, and after that you need to process. You need to filter, group by. That takes more time, right? And if you want to count manually, like instead of that, like 12 plus 4 4 1 2 plus 2 6 plus 20 plus 48 plus 37 plus 15 plus 12 plus 14 plus 27 plus 14 plus 41 plus, it delays you basically. Okay, so it delays you, right? And for that you need to run this simple one line query in Hive. Okay, guys, Hive has been developed by Facebook and it's user friendly. If you guys are a little bit familiar with SQL or any SQL, you can rock this. Okay, so far so good, right? So the total amount of the store, the total amount, the total sale for this store is $5,229 or rupees. Okay, all right, so let's try one more. All right, let's go with max. Okay, let's go with the max and minimum. Okay, so what we'll do, I come to you guys and ask you guys, come on, I just wanted to see, tell me the name of the patient who purchased the maximum, I mean, like, who spent the maximum to in this store. Okay, so I mean, like, what I'm coming to tell you is, I just wanted to see which patient had made a purchase. I mean, like, which is the patient who purchased the maximum amount. Okay, I mean, like, who spent maximum. Okay, for that, what I do, it's simple function. Sorry, simple query. Select max of what? I am trying to get the maximum amount, right? So for that, I need to out underscore amount, right? That's the right thing, right? Yeah. From the table called patient. Now it's creating another file. It's a new file, but it's a different function, right? Remember this port 530 to keep track on a job tracker. This is your cluster size. It says like 81 out of 1000 megabytes. See, these are the three files which is already completed. Okay, 100% completed. So here it comes the complete jobs and running jobs. This one is still running, so it's normal. It's in normal priority, and the username and the function here. So what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to get the. So what I'm doing is, I'm trying to get the maximum of your total amount, right? So I just wanted to see who purchased the maximum. Okay, and it's still incomplete. It's still running, so it's 0%. We have only one mapper and one reducer. You can also schedule basically. See, there will be scenarios like you want to schedule something, like if you're getting frequent datas, basically datas will be generating, right? It's not going to sleep. So for that, you cannot always go ahead and type run the query each time. For that, you can do some little bit automations, like you can schedule the jobs, and it will run by itself. We'll see that. We'll see that obviously, because that is part of syllabus. So let me refresh this job tracker, and running is none. That means it's completed. The fourth job is completed. Okay. Right, it's completed. The maximum amount is 4,412. Okay. Right. So that's the total amount spent by some patient. Okay. So you can also do some average also by typing ABG. Okay. Okay, let me show that as well. Sorry, it's it's his fifth job, and this is something like, it looks like a timestamp, guys. 2017, 12th is your December, and 23 is today's date, and 2314 is your time. Okay, it looks like that. So I'm running the average of your total amount. See, the average sale was 35. Sorry, 174.3. Okay, the average sale was 174.3. Okay, so far we ran 5 jobs. Everything is updated here. Okay, in your GUI. So if any case, if you want to do something, if you want to find some information, you can always click on that. Okay, right. So good to go. Okay, now I come to you with another scenario. Guys, I want to know the patient name who bought dairy milk. Okay, and what else? I can give you some more scenarios. I can. All right, guys. So now I come to you guys and ask you, out of this 1 billion record, I wanted to see the patient who bought dairy milk and Fair and Lovely. Okay. So for that, what I do, it's simple function, guys. Select. We are adding one more class, star. That means from totally all from the patient table. We are adding a new clause here called where the drug is, the drug type is in drug type in dairy milk and Fair and Lovely, right? Fair and Lovely. You see the spelling, is that right? Fair and Lovely, right? Lovely, right? So here I'm putting it select star from, that means from the table patient, select all the data from the patient table, but you need to filter where you are filtering. Drug is your degree, and it says like in the drug column, please filter out who purchased or who bought dairy milk and Fair and Lovely. Okay, I'm just trying to find out these culprits. So I'm running the map reduce job from Hive. It triggered, it's fired. It created a new file called this. So the running job is here. Right, so it's completed. Right. So I find that I have patients. I have a patient called Neha and their patient ID, and what she purchased is a dairy milk, and their gender and the amount, right? And I find Sedu who visited my store, but he didn't pay, right? So it's null. I didn't add the value here. I mean, like, I didn't enter the amount. Just wanted to show you guys purposely. And I also find that Brinda also purchased dairy milk here, but she didn't pay. I didn't add the amount here. So this is how, guys. Okay. So in real time, you will be getting such kind of scenarios. But the thing is, like, processing it is very difficult. Okay. through Excel sheet or any other database. So for that, we have Hadoop to process and analyze, and we have one more challenge is map reduce jobs. So to running map reduce jobs and make it more simple and more quick, we are using Hive now with one simple line of queries. Okay. So in real time, there will be no patient like this who is buying dairy milk and Fair and Lovely. You will be dealing with all the corporate datas. Okay. So the data will be huge. So make sure that be conscious. If you want to know more about the data, ask your project manager, ask your BAs basically, and try to understand the data and then process. Okay. So here we found this. What we did in the previous query is we try to find the dairy milk and Fair and Lovely. Now let's try to find who purchased Avil and Metasin. Okay. So for that function, we need to do select star from patient. I'm adding a clause here where I can type here, or else I can type in the next line as well. Because until unless I type this, the Hive will not run. Okay. See, I just gave enter. It came down to the next line. Now I give this semicolon. It can run. It can run the entire list of data inside the patient. So what I do, I hit enter. I'm adding a new clause here, back to business. I just wanted to see the where. I just wanted to see where the drug name in. I wanted to see. I just wanted to see who all the patients who purchased Avil tablets and Metasin. Okay. All right. My scenario, I come up to you guys and asking you guys, please process and analyze who purchased Avil and Metasin out of this database, out of this patient data. Okay. That's it. It started running its job. This time it's creating a new job name. So guys, I show you how to run the query as well. You can run that in one line, or you can add multiple lines. Basically, you need to enter the semicolon to run, semicolon to finish up the query. Okay. Until you type the semicolon, it will not understand this is your command like that. Okay. So I found that these are the patients. These are the patients who purchased Avil, and it's male, and this is his purchase. It's the amount 4,412 rupees is the maximum purchase price, and he purchased this. And he also purchased Rajesh is his ID is 3, so he purchased Metasin. And 116 is another. See, there is 2 Saravanan here, right? There is 2 Saravanan name. So Saravanan 1 name who purchased Saravanan is the patient ID 2, and the Saravanan here, the first Saravanan, he purchased Avil, and the male guy he purchased for 4,412 rupees. Okay, there is another Saravanan here who purchased with his patient ID 116 and Avil, and with 44 rupees or dollars. And there is also another Saravanan, right? You can filter the Saravanan as well. So see, so like you have different patient ID, so you can find out who are the patients basically purchased Avil and Metasin, right? For that we used a different we used where clause, and we try to enter the drug name, right? All right, so good to go. Any questions so far, guys, in this? All right, okay. I give that as an homework for you guys because it's inside the exercise files. You can find that step by step. Also, I can show you something more interesting than that. So, right. So, yes. So, Sedu, like filter is in your exercise. So, if you go in the exercise files, you can find that. I'll show you something new, something something more interesting. So now what we do. So we have list of another files, right? So I mean, like we have other data as well, like data set underscore hive, drugs, patient one, patient two, patient three, vocabulary JSONs. So what we do, like we'll try to add this drug once again inside the patient table. Okay. So let's see how we are doing that. We already did one time. Let's we added this patient's data. Now we will add this drugs table. Let's see what is inside the drugs. So inside the drugs text we have only this. Okay, these are the drugs that shops says. So Avil, paracetamol, Prosin, Metacin, Cipla, Lanoxin, Forts, dairy milk. So I can add the list of drugs here. For example, I can add let's say like some Himalaya product, and let's say like Dabur, and let's say I have Boost. I have what else? I can add. Uh, um, what's the spelling for Amur Darjan? I don't understand. I'm like Amur. I just assume okay. So these are the list of drugs. I also sell Nestle product as well. Nestle we have already added dairy milk. Let's say like I can also add Maltova. Okay, Maltova. I can add from drink like cold for the cold drink, uh, cold cream. So instead of this product, just add the product name. It will be easier. So I have drugs uh, drugs file which has a list of drugs. So in real time, you will be having hundreds and 200s, thousands or lakhs of drugs, lakhs and lakhs of products inside, right? Right. So if I take Himalayas, there will be list of their products. Dabur also have list of their products, right? For just an understanding, I'm just putting it. Just assume that these are the products inside the drug. Okay. So I'm trying to add that into the patient table. For that, I need to simple query, simple line, create table called drug, and its drug name. These are the drug name, right? Abil is a drug name, paracetamol is a drug name, so I'm just giving this as a drug name. and it's going to be string type, right? And it's row format delimited stored as text files. I did a mistake here purposely to show you guys. It will say like failed semantic exception unrecognized file format in stored as class text files. So what it means is like it can store anything, but the class text file is unrecognized file format. Matlab, it's unable to find such for file format. Okay. So what I do, there is no file format as text text files. Okay, there is no format like text files, but text file is the right format. Okay, so I just correct myself. I have showed that before you also. So text file is the right format. Now it should work. Okay. So what we did is we created a new table. Okay, called drug. Okay, so let me show you the list of tables. So now we have two tables called drug and patient. Patient, we added the datas, we played with that, we analyzed few things. Now we created a new table called drug. And I'm trying to describe the drug. Inside the drug, we have only one column, which is a string, and it says it's a drug name. Okay. Now we will put some data. Let's see like what is inside the table. We gave the query. We are asking the Hive, please show me all from the drug table. It says okay, and it's time taken to show. There is nothing to show because there is nothing inside the table. Okay, so now what we do, we will add this drugs table inside this. We will add this drug data into the drug table. Okay. So for that, I need to type load data local path / cloudera / desktop / data sets / data sets / drugs.txt. Is that a drug or drugs? Let's see that. Okay, it's drugs. Okay, it's right. All right. So drugs txt, right, into the table drug. Okay, I'm adding drugs data inside the drug table, not into the patient table. Okay, so earlier we tried a patient's list, everything inside the data inside the patients. Now we are trying to do that inside the drugs. Okay, so we are adding this data from this data set to the database by typing load data in local, because it's stored in local file, and in path of, this is the path. Okay, this is the path and this is the file name, which is .txt is the format of the file, and into the table which we created recently called drug. Okay, so we created a table called drug here. Guys, is that whatever I'm highlighting, is that visible? Because of this blue screen, is it visible for you guys? Whichever I'm highlighting, is it visible? All right. Okay. Okay. Great. Great. So so I created a table, a new table, okay, a new table, a new table created with the name of drug, okay, and I just added only one column, which is the data type of string. It's not integer, right? It is not. It is not integer. It's all. It's all in strings, right? It is not integer. Okay, so just only one column. Okay, because we have only one column here. We have only one degree here, so only one column called drug name. Okay, and we also delimited as store because we are not comma separating here. We are not terminating any comma separated format. There is no comma separated, right? If you have comma here, you will be separating another value like this. For that, you will be terminating things, right? So there is no comma separated format. For that, we are limiting, delimiting and requesting it to store as a text file. I mean, like it is already stored as a text file. So now in the next step, we saw that show me the tables that is available inside the database. Okay, so guys, are you guys with me? Can you please type the database name that we created today? Wow, nice. So yeah, right. Yes, absolutely. So guys, we have created the uh, database DB7 and a lot of DBs. But my question was like, which database we are using? So basically, we are using the hospital database. uh, I just wanted to make sure whether you guys are still with me. All right. So we created a database and we have created other things as well. So can you quickly type what are the tables we created today? Okay, great. So patients and drug. Okay, patient and drug. Okay. See, this spelling is important, guys. So all right. So we have two tables called patients and drug. So can you please tell me like in which table we have uploaded the data earlier? I think Sedu started sleeping. Okay, so everybody's the same page, so it's makes sense for you guys so far. So we have created a patient and the first, and we added the data. Then we did analyze the patient table. Then we try to process it and find out the results with some real-time scenarios. And now we created a new table called drug, and we try to find out the tables by telling the Hive, please show me the tables, list of tables. So we have two tables now. And also I just wanted to know what are the I just requested Hive to describe the drug table. So I see that there is only one column which is string. Okay, so now I'm trying to add this drugs.txt data. Basically, this data inside the I'm going to put this drugs, put this data, put this. Assume that you are having nearly one lakh or 2 lakhs of products in a store, uh, and um, and you are trying to add that into the Hive, okay, for processing. Now I am here very slow in typing. That means you are very hungry. All right, it's time. The time is okay, 2:30. We'll finish it off in a few minutes. Okay. So I'm putting here. I'm just requested here. I'm just loading it here. It's started copying. Right. So what I'm trying to do here, there is another concept called as join. Okay. So we have two different tables, drug and patient. Now what we do is we will join both of them. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is select start from patient, join another class, new class. Okay. Drug on patient dot drug equal to drug dot drug name. Enter. Okay. So I'm trying to join the table. Basically, we have two tables, patient and drug. We are joining them. Just give me a moment, guys. Let it run. All right, so it's still running. Okay. So this time we have a different job ID. So you guys know like what it's doing. So okay, it says like map is completed. Reduce. It's ready, so it's still running. It should be completed, guys. Yes, it's completed. All right. See, it completed, and what we did is we just select star from, right? So our previous query was select star from. That means we are asking it to join and show, right? So it started showing us everything with the drug we have added now. Right. So these are the drugs we have added recently. I will close in things and all. But if in case a customer have purchased Himalaya, so Himalaya product will be coming up. If somebody purchased, let's say Vignesh purchased Boost, so Boost will be coming here from the drug table. Okay. So basically we used a new clause called join here. Okay. At the bottom of the screen, I'm highlighting you guys. We are selecting star from. That means please list all from the patient table and please join drug on patient. Okay, and drug on the patient in the right side, right join. So it's which is equal to drug dot drug name, which is a drug table, and inside that there is a drug name. Please show that. Okay, for that it took almost 106 seconds to process, but it will be faster. Why? So for this join thing, like you'll be running, you'll be typing in Java for almost like 120 and 150 lines of Java codes. Okay, so it's very simple, right? Now let's see, like let's do some outer left join. Okay, for that, select patient from patient left outer join drug from patient dot drug equal to drug name. uh, where correct drug is drug name equal to will. I'm asking them to show that in the left join with the patient Avil. So what it says, alias, okay, there is a typos.
Patient.drug is equal to drug.drug name.
I need to type once again. Select star, select patient. From patient. Right, so there is another concept called left outer, right outer. If you're good with SQL, yes, you can go with that. You can understand what is happening. So I'm just trying to find out the patients with Avil. Guys, also note that you can run this Hive queries from queue as well. Uh, right, so what I did in the left outer joint, I just try to find out the patient who is using Hive, or I'm just trying to find out Avil patient. I'm like patient who purchased this. Okay. Now let's create one more table. So call drug underscore dupe1, and let's say drug and string format limited store as text file. Okay. So I'm creating another table called drug underscore. So I'm creating one more. Say the file, and also says okay, raw format. Okay. So now this time we'll check with another format. Okay. We'll try with sequential formats. So sequence, CQ, sequence file. Okay, so this is a sequence file. So we'll create a new one. Okay, done. So we are trying to we'll try to override the drug name from the drug. Okay, so insert override table drug underscore do one select star from drug. So it's trying to override the table. Okay. I'll show you the difference once it's completed. I'll show you the difference. Right. So guys, come back to your queue. So in your queue, you can find as BVAX Hive UI. So you can click on that and you can run it from here. Okay. Select start from, and I select the hospital, and I say execute please.
Patient or like
That purposely.
hospital is the DB name, right?
Yes, yes, I know. So you'll be popping up with errors like in the highlighted here with the query, and you can also go into the logs, what had happened if you want to debug. Okay. Also, another tabs called execute, save as, explain, a new query. So you can always also like you can save. Okay, so you can save this query as uh, anything. I mean, like any name, and you can add the description, and you can click on save to save the query, and also you can click on execute. Now you'll get the results. Okay, so your results will be like this. Okay, you'll get all the columns like this. This is your patient ID. This is your patient name, drugs, gender, total amount. Easy, right? So you can also download as CSV file here. So download and Excel, and you can save the result as well. Okay, so this was the query you ran, and it will be if you run multiple queries, it will be piling up down. Also, you have logs here for debugging, and if you want to understand the columns of the table, yes, these are the columns you have. It's very easy, right? Right. So and also you can check this if you want to add. I mean, like if you wanted to notify the queries has been completed. For that, you need to update your profile with your email address. Okay. You can also select a new query parallelly. You can do that. That's easy, right? This is called Hive B wax. Basically, after I mean, like on the Hive version 2, Hive server version 2, you got this as enhancement with BWax, Hive UI. Okay. So back to command line, but I prefer command line because in production we'll be using this traditional command line prompt. Okay. Right. So let's it. Let's see. Let's describe table with drug. Let's go group one. Okay, well, you have only one string that is drug. So let's see what is inside the drug. Let's go group one. Enter the group one. Okay, you can see that, right? We have added everything inside. We have added cold cream, cold ring, Maltova, Modarjan, boost, double, everything. Right. So let's see what is there inside the group two. I think we have not added it yet. Okay. So what we do, we will insert the table. Okay, from the drug. Okay, there is what I'm trying to say you. If you feel that I'm rushing, yes, I'm rushing. The time is going to be 3 and rushing for another meeting. All inside there is another way of loading data. Okay, one is insert overwrite. Okay, table and the table name. Okay, and then select from the, that is the query that we have ran earlier, like this. Okay, so here we are trying to insert override concept, okay, to the table called drug. We create a table called drug. Okay, so now what we do, we will get into the another concept. Instead of override, we can put it simply into. Okay, insert into table called drug underscore do to. We already see that there is nothing to show. There is nothing to show in drug underscore do to, right? Now we are adding data from, sorry, start from the drug table. Okay. For that, enter drug, select start from drug. Insert into table drug underscore do to, select star from drug. Okay. So basically, like we try to do with sequential file. Since we are not having sequential file, it's giving this error. Okay. All right. So let's drop this table called as drug to. Let me show that as well. Drop table drug. Before that, show tables. I'm trying to show you the tables. So far, we have created. We created a drug table, drug underscore do1, do2, and patients table. Let me drop this table. Okay. Sorry. For that, drop table called drug. Okay. So now it's deleting everything. So all the data, everything will be deleted because it's managed data. It will delete the data and table as well, metadata as well. So an external table is a concept that you'll be having data even if you drop the table. Okay. Well, let's see the external table. So let's create one. Create external table called patient. Sorry, external with the PID is integer. Then name is string. Then drug is string. And gender is string. Becomes stored under amount. The store amount is int. What else? Okay, so that's it, right? Amount row format. So comma separated. So text file. Okay, and the location would be location is your home / Cloudera / desktop / datasets / let's say like dataset / external underscore file. Okay. So what we do is like let's get into the VM. Right, so inside the data sets, we have only 4 or 5 files. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 files. Now, what we're trying to do is like we are requesting to create a new external table called patient external. Okay, so it's followed the same process. We also trying to store as a text file inside this part. Okay, I'm just giving query. Says I cannot put string as CSS string whatever column. Okay. Okay. Now, question here text file. Missing your location. Okay. Missing okay. Right.
Is it location or path in something like that?
No. Spelling was wrong. Right. So now it should run. Okay. Right. So when I get into VM, it should have created. I think I don't have permission to do this external. Okay, it started actually, but since I have some permission issues with the Cloudera, it is not able to write. Otherwise, it will start doing the same thing, like nothing much difference. As I told you, the comparison is with the external. You can, if you drop the table, it will delete the table name only, but the data will be there. Okay, so just understand that. Other than that, everything is same. Okay, so. let's have something new. What else? Okay, so we have a
It's 3 o'clock.
we have a concept called view. Patient. Let's go to view. Let's select ID. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is we are trying to create a new one with the view patient underscore view. So what I do, select just patient view. Okay, and it's running it. Right, so guys, after running this, what we'll do is we'll take a break now. There is another concept, important concept, basically partition. So we will see that maybe in the evening because I need to rush for a meeting. So this is the CSV file that we have downloaded it from the Hive basically, right? This is the result of it. So let's start from. We can produce it to the client. All right. So basically, what we did here is we wanted to see all the patient's view. Okay. So we did that here. So we filtered it out. Okay. So that's how you can view. So I'm exiting it by typing exit. Okay. So that's for now. So guys, we'll catch up maybe in today's tonight if you guys are okay with me. So is it okay? We'll catch up by 9:30 in the evening.
Sorry, Karthik, I'll not be able to join too late. If it is like 6 or 7, it will be fine for me.
No, I'm
Only good
for a
others.
meeting and I cannot make it before 8:30. So I'll be back by 9. Like
Oh, okay, then I should be able to see the recorded session tomorrow. Thank you.
all right, guys. Thank you so much. See you then.